Hey guys, nice to see you for another video. I have recently been spending some time watching a series of videos that have been put out by the channel NorVegan, which is run by Michael Hebo. I believe I'm pronouncing that correct. And the series of videos that he's been putting out is about Durianrider, aka Harley, which may or may not be a familiar figure to, those of you who have been present within the vegan community for the last decade. So this series of videos is called specifically Unmasking the Narcissist, and it does a really thorough job at at cataloging and organizing and explaining and proving something that many within this community have kind of, I don't know if they've been suspicious of it or just like known it for a long time, but that Harley appears to, he exhibits all of the symptoms of having narcissistic personality disorder, or NPD. And if you've been around my channel for a good long while, you probably remember that when I first started, I was a supporter of Harley and his girlfriend at the time, Freely. They were big influences for me when I was first able to succeed at veganism. Sorry, I might have kale in my teeth. But they were big influences for me, and their advice did go a long way to helping me regain my health and to helping me be able to be successful and take really good care of myself. Now, their advice was not perfect, but in a large way it did work for me, and it definitely helped me get over my calorie phobia, which was instrumental in me healing from, eating disorders and such. And for that, I'm thankful. I'm thankful for all of the free information that they provided for me over the years, which I now do my best to perpetuate and provide for the community that saved my life, essentially, And my hope is that that keeps perpetuating. When I did first start YouTube, this was several years ago, and in my opinion, my perception, and we'll get more about my perception in just a second, but in my perception, when I put out those videos, their behavior wasn't that bad, right? Now, part of my perception was that I was not fully aware of the scope or breadth of their behavior. And part of that, is just me being busy. Another part of it is me not wanting to know about it. Part of it is me not wanting to be involved in the kind of vegan drama and all of the reaction videos and stuff like that. You guys know I definitely flirted with the idea of it. I gave it a shot a few times, and some of those videos were really successful. But ultimately I decided that it literally feels icky to participate in that kind of culture of YouTube. But anyway, my perception was partially skewed because I wasn't aware of it. After watching the videos put out by Michael of NorVegan, which, they are linked below, after watching those videos and seeing with lots of evidence the scope of what's been going on, both back then and to the present day, I am speechless. I am unimpressed, to say the least. And as much as I would just like to watch the videos and be like, yeah, expose it, Michael, I do want to add my 2 cents, because I have put out supportive videos in the past of them, and the one specifically where I talk about Harley as well, it has been taken down. But even though over the last couple of years I've been distancing myself from them, specifically, after Harley and Freely broke up, really starting to see Harley for what he was, and rejecting that without causing too much drama. But this is so fucking hard for me to get out. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to be involved. The whole thing feels icky for me. And part of why it feels so icky is because I see that behavior now that they were involved in, and I'm like, oh dear God, I can't, what was going on? I know part of it is that I didn't see it. Part of it is that I didn't want to see it, that I didn't have the time to see it, that I just didn't want to like invest my energy in getting involved in that back and forth drama and trying to find all the details and figure out who actually said what. That whole mess that gets in the mess of drama, you know, like I have other things to think about and focus on. But the other part of why it feels so icky to me is that, and this goes back into my perception, is that I grew up with a woman who had narcissistic personality disorder. And this is something, I mean, I've known for many years that, like, I went through trauma, there were abuses, but I didn't know until recently that my mom did have NPD. Like, I've been watching the videos of NorVegan, and I have watched videos about narcissism in the past, and, you know, I made a video about my relationship with my mom a little over a year ago, and a lot of people commented on that video like, it sounds like she's a narcissist. And that was when I really started looking into that more. The ironic thing is that when I was raised, you know, my mom was a master's level psychologist, like very good at her job, but she would say things to me like, NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, isn't real. She would say things like that. And I look at it now and it's like she probably didn't want it to be real because she probably like had NPD. So of course it's not real. That's how narcissism works. Anyway, I grew up with that. And so, you know, when I started seeing Harley participate in this behavior and the name calling and, you know, breaking people down and taking cheap shots and pointing out really hurtful things about them, like, it just felt normal. It felt par for the course. Like, that's how you have an argument. You just tear someone down until there's nothing left and they're a shivering blob on the floor, and that's when you kick them. Like, that was my childhood. And so it not only seemed normal to me, but as happens a lot with trauma, I perpetuated those actions and those types of behaviors. And you'll see it. You know, you can see it in some of the videos that I've made, in some of the ways that I respond to people's comments, in some of the ways that I respond to people's criticisms. I feel like I've made strides in understanding that and checking that and just being more a kinder person over the last couple of years, but you know, it still comes out. Like, it came out last week on a post that I made. I ended up, you know, deleting a comment and apologizing for my shitty behavior. And, you know, when it comes up, when it comes out, when I see this behavior in others too, I understand it. I understand where it's coming from. It brings up a lot of shame in me. I feel like if I'm gonna denounce it, I should probably stop being so hypocritical and having to look at my own hypocrisy is, you know, it's shameful. And, you know, as we're all coming to learn, shame is a major driver of narcissistic personality disorder, for one, addiction for others, eating disorders, another, perpetuating abuse. You know, it goes on and on. And so I do, like, I want to apologize for what happened in the early days of YouTube, of not being aware enough, for not speaking up as I probably should have. I had my reasons, which could be viewed as excuses, but I can't go back and redo the past, so I'll do my best to kind of right that at this point. And so I guess with this video, it's one way, I don't know, to start a conversation. It's another way to just invite people who may still be supportive of Harley and his actions to kind of reflect about why that behavior feels like it's okay to you, and why that type of communication method feels like it's okay and like it's normal, and to try to be aware of what perpetuating that type of behavior through your own behavior, because it makes you an abuser. It makes you the perpetuator of trauma. And as someone who has been that, it is not a fun burden to carry. And so, I don't know. Come on, Lily, closing thoughts. Bring in the closing thoughts. You know, if we can't learn from it, it's a waste. And I'm a zero waste kind of person. So I don't know, let's try to recycle this, compost it, use it to fertilize better things in our community. Try to be really aware as we move forward that this type of behavior isn't okay, but it is identifiable, and I'm not sure that it's solvable in this case. You know, most of the consensus about narcissists is that they're generally speaking like incurable. Once you've gone so far down the path, like there's so much shame that the vast majority of people can't come back from it. And I mean, that's been my experience with my mom. She will make up any delusion inside her own head to keep herself in the right and the victim and whatever. So let's not let the focus be on what is probably not fixable in this situation, i.e. like bashing Harley, creating more shame for him. You know, it's like the truth is enough for him. The truth is enough to take care of him. My hope is that we can learn more about effective communication for our own selves. I know I've learned a hell of a lot, and I know that despite the very uncomfortable amounts of shame that well up inside of me, and reflecting on my own capacity to communicate in the past, I feel really encouraged and really empowered by the ways in which I have learned how to do better. I'm still screwing up, and I am encouraged by my capacity to witness that screw up and own up to it and apologize where apologies are due. And if the real motivation is to have a better, stronger community after this, being civil is of the utmost importance. So I guess that'll about do it. You know, I don't need to make another 6-year-long video. Questions and comments can go down below. Harley's questions and comments under his various aliases will probably be highlighted as an example of narcissistic injury. And I don't know, we can all just stand back and watch the fireworks show as the truth continues to come out. And big props to Michael and the many people who have taken Durianrider on as a project, and who have done the hard work and who have used their skill sets to be able to proactively identify and deal with this. It is making our community better and more cohesive. Okay, I don't know. It feels kind of awkward doing my usual outro here, like, hey, make better choices for yourself. Try not to be a narcissistic asshole, and take really, really good care. I'll see you guys soon. Bye!